Greetings to you all. Beetle Dave calling to you from Derbyshire in the UK. Quite a nice day here today. For this little video, um, it's basically a response to a message or comment I had a few weeks ago. And we all have been on YouTube, don't we? But everybody that makes a video or has got a YouTube channel, we all love being on YouTube. But for certain people, it'll be different reasons why they're doing it. This is the reason I do it. It's a very, very simple reason why I do it, because I love doing it. That's the main reason. The other reason is, as many of you will know, I have been a record collector for over 40 years, basically since I was 14. To some degree or another, through my lifetime, I've collected records, and I dropped off and bought CDs and cassettes like most people did. I started to get back into record collecting in a big way about 10 years ago, and I've now got over 6,000 albums, roughly, and thousands of singles. I've started to get back into CDs as well. Now, the reason I wanted to do a YouTube channel was I've got all these records, and I just want to share some of them with people out there. The majority of my records are Beatles records, although I do have other things, other artists: David Bowie, Sex Pistols, Madness, Adam and the Ants, The Who, The Kinks, Small Faces, a band called The Move, who went on to become ELO, what members of it did. Then I've got things by Pink Floyd, Motown, rock and roll, Buddy Holly, even Cliff Richard and the Shadows, things like that. I've even got some old American albums by a band called The Ventures. So my idea of the channel was originally for it to be, a Beatles channel, hence the name Beetle Dave. And to be fair, 99% of the time, it is still about the Beatles. I love showing my records and going into detail, and if there's stories to go with them, I will tell you little stories. I don't take myself that serious. I'm not in a studio somewhere. This is my music room, which in reality is a spare bedroom in my house. Everything that I show, I do own myself. I haven't borrowed it off friends and family or things like that. The majority of the things I show on the channel are what we would call old records or vintage records, although I still go out and buy brand new records, whether it's going to a record shop or buying it off internet sites and things like that. I have just done a couple of videos on the Revolver box set, which is a very good box set, by the way. But basically I just do it because I love to show people my records and share with you my experience of being a record collector and a Beatles fan and a Beatles fanatic. I know it's not to everybody's taste. The Beatles is like Marmite. You either love them or you don't. Simple. It's irrelevant that they're the best band in the world, in my opinion. Some people don't think they were, but to me they were. I've not just got records on the Beatles. I've got books, I've got DVDs and all sorts. And like I say, the main reason I wanted to do a YouTube channel, bearing in mind I've wanted to do one for years and years and years, but it wasn't until last year that I picked myself up the arse basically and thought, Dave, it's now or never for you to try doing it. The first few videos I made, I'll be honest, were absolutely crap because I'd got no idea what I was doing. I was basically my camera and going behind it like that, so you never saw me. There was okay for first efforts. Perhaps being a little bit hard on myself. Then as time's gone by and I've got more confident, and I've got used to looking into the computer or laptop or the phone, they've got a little bit better over time. I'm not saying they're brilliant now, but the comments I do get are usually very, very nice comments, very favourable. If I'm reviewing something that's brand new, I will give you a very honest opinion of what I think. But like I say, it is just my opinion. Although I have got 40 odd years of experience of record collecting the Beatles and things like that. I don't mean that to sound big-headed. I don't know everything about the Beatles. I don't know everything about record collecting. It's basically just me, an old geezer, old man, middle-aged man, whatever you want to call it, who's got loads and loads of records, just wants to share them with people, especially nowadays, because a lot of the records I've got, you can't actually go in the shop and buy brand new. It's like the Beatles. I've got a lot of the original versions from the 60s. I've got a black and gold copy of the Please Please Me LP. I've got a silver and black copy, which is basically the same design as the black and gold one, from Australia. I've got one from New Zealand, or South Africa. Then I've got all of the original mono British LPs. And then it's things like love songs and, the Beatles ballads and things like that aren't technically worth a lot of money, but you can't go and buy them brand new in a shop. You can get them off internet sites like eBay, Discogs, and places like that. But you can't get them. You can't go to your local HMV or your local shops are where you are and get them. Not saying they're worth a lot of money, but they aren't. But if you're just getting into record collecting, you might not know what they look like. Other things are little stories I've learned along the way. I'll tell you about people I've met, and things like that. It's different people do YouTube channels for different reasons. Some people are like me, and they just want to spread their experience and the record collection with people, which I think is the majority of people, to be fair, on YouTube. Other people do it because they think they're going to make money out of it, which is not my intention at all, to be honest. Other people do it because they get freebies from record companies and things like that. I just do it because I love doing it. It's something I've wanted to do for years and years and years. I enjoy doing it, and I hope you lot out there enjoy my videos. And like I say, that is about it, really. Everybody on YouTube will have a different story as to why they do a YouTube channel. Mine is basically because I've got loads of records and I just like talking about them, and that's it. Yes, the majority of them are Beatles records, but if you check out some of my videos, we do things on the other bands. I've done one on the Sex Pistols today. I've done them on the Specials, Madness, David Bowie, the Kinks. There is lots of things. There's still lots of things I do want to do. Not necessarily all the Beatles. As I've said before, although it's Beatley Dave, it is a record collecting channel as well as a Beatles channel. And I think I'm just about getting it right now after doing this channel for over a year. But whatever I do, there's always going to be somebody somewhere that isn't going to like it. It's like the old saying that we've got in the UK: you can't please all the people all of the time. And if I'm showing you records and I will just give you my opinion on them. If I think a record is good, it's good. If I think it isn't so good, I'll say so. And if I think it's rubbish or crap, I will say so. It's not often I say that something isn't very good. I think somebody got one of my videos slightly mixed up the other day, or they took it the wrong way when I was doing a review on the Beatles Revolver box set, because this is what it sounds like. You don't like it. I do like it. I love it. I think it's a fantastic product. The only downside to me as a collector, and to me as a purchaser, and to me as a Beatles fan, was there was a few things that they could have done slightly better. That's all I was trying to get across. I wasn't saying I didn't like it or it was a waste of money or anything like that. It's things like that. And the other thing about being on YouTube is you get you sort of like get to make friends with people that you've never met, which sounds strange, but those people that think you are okay will send you comments and that lot, and it's like that, you know, you've known them for years, although technically you haven't, obviously, and you will probably never meet these people in real life. So there's like a lot of camaraderie. Is that that word? Especially where the Beatles are concerned and record collecting. I don't know what it's like if you're doing like a YouTube channel on vintage cars or something like that. Uh, and the other thing is, like, sometimes you will make mistakes and somebody will say, well, you know, you said that was a UK version from 1969. Actually, it's, you know, it is a UK version, but it's from 1971, which is okay, isn't it? We all learn, you know. I don't know everything. Honestly, don't know everything. Um, if I did, I could be a professor, Professor Beetle Dave. uh, I don't take myself that serious. And you know, this is just a little story of why I started my YouTube channel, basically. And going forward, I don't know what the future for my channel is going to hold. I was thinking of changing the name slightly to something like Beetle Dave the Record Collector or something like that. Because sometimes I do get a little bit of criticism when I do videos on other artists, but like I do try and stress, it is a record collecting channel as well as a Beatles channel. The other thing is, I would like to slightly make my channel a bit more professional. I don't want it to look like I'm in a studio or anything like that, but I want to do needle drops, which I am doing, and it is okay what I'm doing at the minute according to YouTube, but sometimes I will get a copyright claim, but it just says it is not restricted, so it's not being taken off my video or anything like that. But if they do that, I just take the video off anyway. But I've only had one of them, and that was when I was walking down Matthew Street and there's some music playing somewhere, and they actually muted me video on that occasion. I would like to probably have an introduction, like some YouTube channels have a, when they go, oh, you know, they go, hello, it's Beetle Dave, welcome to my channel. There'll be some music when they go, or something like that. That's something I might look into doing. But then again, looking at a lot of other people's YouTube channels, they haven't got it. So I don't think that's necessary for me to do it. And the other thing is, I'd like, well, I hope in the future, my subscriptions will go up. Don't get me wrong, I'm not doing bad. I'm around the 380-ish mark at the minute. Which for a little channel like me isn't that bad, to be honest. I'm not professional, you know. I do have to go out to work and things like that. I can't just sit and make videos all day, every day, as much as I wish I could. You know, I do have to go out and go to work to pay the bills and things like that. But I love doing it. I've come into contact with some absolutely fantastic people in the time that I've been doing it, which compared to some people, I haven't been doing it that long. You know, I think it's about 14 months, something like 14 months, 15 months. It's not long over a year. Yeah, I have to keep going like that because the sun's shining in the UK for once, and it's like going in my eyes. If I go like that, you can't see me. So if I go like that, you can see me. So I haven't suddenly become deformed. I'm not like that. Yeah, so this is just basically a little story of why I started my YouTube channel. No specific reason why I've done it. This video I'm on about. It's just one of them where sometimes it's just nice to give you a little bit of background and things like that. Like I say, I've always had music around me in my life. My mum and dad, unfortunately, my dad's not with us anymore, were really, weren't what you'd call record collectors as such now, but they'd always got records, and we had the big old radiogram thing in the front room, and you know, Sunday mornings it was always music day, whether he was listening to the radio or my dad would get his old like Gene Vincent or Little Richard LPs out, and my mum would get her Buddy Holly 78s out and things like that. So there's always music around me. I started to buy my first records in around 1977 when I was about 10 or 11. They weren't necessarily anything interesting, you know, it could have been Waddy Waddy or something like that. But I know by the time I was like 13, I did have a nice little record collection of 45s, and that was that was everything from the Sex Pistols to B.A. Robinson to ABBA to Motorhead, you name it, I'd got it in there. Any little, like, you know, the old shoe boxes, something like that. And then I discovered punk and became a punk. That did actually. Then I started buying LPs and things like that. And then in 1980, after John Lennon was murdered, because I didn't really know who John Lennon was, that got me into John Lennon. Watching the news coverage got me into John Lennon, thinking, well, you know, I did know some of the songs, but his LPs. Well, then I realised, obviously, John Lennon had been in the Beatles, so it got me into the Beatles, and then that got me into Paul McCartney, Wings, and Ringo, and George, and all that lot. So yeah, there's always a background to something, and this is just my little story of why I started my YouTube channel. And that's going to be it for today. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I say, I don't take myself that serious, do I? I mean, look what I'm wearing. Hey, looks like a teddy boy jacket. It's not. I wish it was, but you know. So thank you to everybody that is supporting me, and I do mean this. Whether you're old subscriber, a new subscriber, you are all like friends to me. And I don't want that to sound like I'm taking the mickey, because I'm not. I do mean it. And the way some of you are talking to me in your comments, we are friends, you know, and that's it. So I think the moral of this story is, if you've always wanted to do a YouTube channel and you've been scared to do it, or you've think you're shy, do what I did. Start with a little phone and go behind the camera. Once you've done a few videos, you might not get very many likes or views, but you will build in confidence, and then one day just sit in front of the video. And the way I do it is I look straight down the lens and I just think I'm sitting opposite somebody and explaining to them, I've got a Beatles White Album. It's a, you know, it's an original 1968 press, and it's mono, it comes out the top, things like that. That's the easy way to do it. Believe it or not, I am actually quite a sharp person, and it did take me a few videos to actually get in front of the camera and do it face to face, sort of thing. And now I love it. I do love it, and I wish I'd done it years and years ago. So don't put off tomorrow what you can do today, is the moral of this story. If you've always wanted to do a YouTube channel, just try it. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. Same as it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. So that was the thing that used to put me off. I used to think, well, why is, you know, what's the point of doing a YouTube channel? Because people have to pay to watch it. They don't. Although it's called a subscription, it's free. And that is a big bargaining thing nowadays. It is free. So if you've always wanted to do your own YouTube channel, give it a go. That's what I'm going to say. Give it a go. Don't be afraid to do anything. Don't put anything off that you've always wanted to do. Like I hesitated. I've been wanting to do a YouTube channel probably, in all honesty, for the past 5 years. And, you know, it wasn't till last year that I actually started one. And I regret not doing one before. So I hope that's been a little bit of entertainment for you. I hope I haven't bored you too much. And, you know, whatever you're doing, please stay safe. Thank you to all my friends out there. That's what I'm going to say. You all like friends now, most of you. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're old viewer to the channel, welcome. If you're new subscriber, welcome. If you're an old subscriber, welcome. You're all treated the same. You know, and that's going to be it for today. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I haven't bored you too much. And like I say, it's just a little story of why I started my YouTube channel. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Till the next time, it's peace, love, and happiness to you all. And remember, Beatle Dave loves you, and I love you all. And I think about you all, you know, what's going on in the world and things like that. You know, please, 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 wherever you are, stay safe. And I'll catch you very soon. The next videos probably won't be till next week, because I'm back at work as of tomorrow, and I'm doing a 6-day stint. So You probably won't get any after today till next week. So until the next time, it's Beatley Dave saying ta for now and love to you all.